I saw the season screener. What an explosive start. Without
Yes.
spoiling it, how will season 2 top season 1?
Well, you just said it. What an amazing start. We've got 24 episodes like that, very layered, very high impact, very emotional, very sensitive, like all of the components are there. And it just gets better and better with each episode. We really understand what we want to do this time around with season 2. It's not just about the high impact or high drama, but it's real people with real relationships going through real things. And we decided that in helping them, we also want to be able to give the viewers something. So, we have our relationship experts on site that are offering terminology, a bit of psychology, and therapy. And that is all some valuable stuff for the people who come to us, as well as the people who are watching.
And people love the show for the drama, but like you mentioned, these are real people in their real relationships experiencing ruptures. What's a takeaway you hope for fans to learn from this series?
I really want them to get into the terminology, because we're giving gems each and every week. So not just looking at the show, but really listening to the conversation. Those experts are dropping terms that I have never heard of, but that are definitely applicable to people's relationships today. They did a term, just for example, they did a term called groundhogging. I'd never heard of that, but it's a person who gets into the same type of relationship because they have a type, right? So it's always the same type of person, but deep inside of them, they're expecting a different outcome. It's never going to happen. That's called groundhogging. And when you can recognize that in yourself or recognize that in your friend, then you're better equipped to counsel them on how not to do those things as they move forward in their relationships.
I think one term that really resonated with me is you mentioned about feeling safe multiple times throughout that instance. And I think so many people can take away, like you said, terms that they can then use in their own life. And I thought it was interesting. You asked one of the cheaters if they felt justified cheating rather than just having a plain conversation. Why do you think some people have a hard time asking for what they need?
I think that's just the nature of people, right? We like to say, you just need to communicate. You just need to have a conversation. The problem with that is most people do not know how to have proper communication. So the minute you express yourself to someone, dependent upon their experiences, their traumas, their triggers, it's going to cause some type of reaction. Now, if that reaction is not something that you want to engage in, what does that cause you to do? Shut down. So you don't continue to have the conversations. And speaking specifically to the episode that you were able to watch, you saw the person that he was supposed to have conversations with. I can only imagine that those things didn't go the way he wanted them to go, which is why he shut down and stopped talking, because that person wasn't mentally adept, emotionally adept enough to receive what he was saying. So that's how it works in real life. And that's why Caught in the Act, Unfaithful is such a great show. If you get past, the infidelity, they're catching cheap, get past all of that and see the layers of what we're bringing you, what we're offering you, because it really is some educational stuff in there that you can utilize as you navigate your interpersonal dynamics.
Right. And I think you handled the situation so well. I know you've mentioned that you have a strong maternal side. How has that played a part of choosing couples on the show? Like, is it hard to pick? Like, I feel like I would want to be like, I want to help everybody.
Yeah, everybody's my baby. Everybody that comes on the show, male, female, everybody's my baby, because they really are seeking help. And I wish I had had something like that when I was going through my relationship that had infidelity. I had to navigate all of my emotions myself. And when you don't really know what you're experiencing, you don't know how to process it. And so for us, that's what I look at. I do want to help everybody. I want to give them the truth, but I also have empathy for what they're going through. And that's why we have the relationship experts there to help them navigate the emotions. It's all one big process that you just can't do one without the other.
Right. What are some common red flags that you've seen like over the years working with couples that maybe you could like warn our viewers about, like for the lookout?
Everybody has asked me that question today. And, it's really case by case, right? Because I don't want to be the person to say, look out for this, and it be nothing, right? Because now I am dismantling relationships that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. I think everybody has to approach their relationships with genuine honesty about what bothers them, right? So for me, I don't like lying. So the minute I feel like I can't trust you, you've given me an untruth, then that means now this relationship can go no further. I don't like cheating. That is a deal breaker. If you have been a known cheater, you're not the person for me, because cheating to me is a character flaw. Nobody just falls inside of a thing or a thing. You know what I mean? They don't just slip up and fall into it. A decision was made, and that's a character flaw for me. Where for you, it might be, he hasn't taken me to see his kids yet, because you may want to be a family person. And why haven't you shown me that side of your life? Why do we only have to go out in the daytime or the nighttime? Why are you at my house? I just met you. You want to move in already? For each person, it's different. So I think trusting your intuition and your instincts and being honest about what bothers you, those become the red flags.
Right. What you can tolerate, what you can and cannot.
Correct.
And after working with couples throughout the show, what's some advice you could give to people out there who have been cheated on or going through something similar?
In order to move forward in a way that is healthy, you have to heal from the act of being cheated on. And a lot of people do not do that. They just say, okay, he cheated on me, I'm hurt. They may cry, they may feel bad about it, and then they move on to the next relationship. But what they end up taking with them is all of the baggage from that relationship because they haven't healed from it. And part of the healing process is taking accountability for the part they may have played within the relationship where they experienced the infidelity. And a lot of people don't want to do that, right? So I had to do work, even in my experience. I had to say, what was I doing? Not that it was my fault that he cheated, because here again, that's a character flaw. That was a decision he made to do instead of having a conversation. But I think taking accountability on the part you played and healing from those things. So as I was saying, I used to like nag my ex. Like literally every time he came in the house, it's like, where you been? What you been doing? Blah, 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 blah. But all of that came from relationships prior to him where there was a lack of trust. And I had to work on Tami. I had to work on me so that when I went into the next relationship, it's like, I'm either going to trust you with every inch of my being, and I'm healed from that element that makes me question and look for stuff and, let me see your phone. If I have to do all of that, then you're not the person for me. And I had to get to that place by healing myself from past experiences.
There's one thing about being loved by somebody, but also loving yourself and being secure in yourself.
Correct.
Yes.
Because nobody's going to love you more. Nobody should love you more than they have the love. You shouldn't love anybody more than you love yourself. Because when it's all said and done, it's only going to be you. and you have to be the best you possible. And then what you do from that point is, I have a great sense of love for myself, self-worth, value, self-esteem. Now I look out at somebody else, and then I can determine if they are providing the reciprocity as I give you this confident individual who loves herself. Are you providing the same thing back to me, which then makes us equal in unity? You can trust me, I can trust you. You can love me, I can love you. You see what I'm saying? That's how relationships are supposed to work. And that's what we're trying to educate people on at Caught in the Act Unfaithful. We give them all of them.